calling you a radical. And first off and foremost, you're so vain you probably think this video is about you. Number one, I'm not a YouTube vlogger. I mean, I'm as far away from that as I possibly can fucking be. I'm a research PhD. I'm an artist. I'm an activist. You know, a real activist. Scientist. Oh boy. This is all I have. And so it really doesn't matter if it gets 3 views or fucking 3 million views. It doesn't matter. Contemporary sheep, I mean, they'll sit around, oh, there was an earthquake somewhere. Oh, there was a tremor somewhere. I mean, feed into that for an AdSense account. Go ahead. Fucking worthless. So when I do these videos, 99% of my videos I'm asked to do on said subject matter, blah, blah, blah. Just like the Light the Night one, you know. I speak to a lot of different demographics and a lot of different audiences, even though it seems like it's such a small audience, which it is. But, you know, 1 person matters. 10 people matter. You know, 1 million people, the contemporary sheep, totally worthless. Air sucking, earth crawling, you know, whatever's. Not me. That ain't me. So it's important because these fires, I just got a call from Tim, you know, he's right on the California-Oregon border, and he says it's fucking toxic hell. So, you know, the fire bearing down on Redding has killed 5 people they know of. These fire, and the media just reports it. Just the Napa Valley wine country burning, you know. I don't know who the fuck they're feeding this narrative to. Fuck, you know how many people live there? And I want to tell this to you people in the East. In the Western United States, post-Fukushima, you have no clue what it's been like. Yeah, we've had some super fucking storms. And, you know, remember when the dam right there where these fires was ready to spill over? But that's the acute radical nature of post-Fukushima, this epic, incredible heat bubble drop. Now, my thesis when Fukushima happened, and this is, you know, to nausea because nothing else matters, I'm here to tell you. As the research PhD, I have to place this into the fucking library. And like, again, you're so vain, you probably think this video is about you. There's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear it. There's a new kid in town. So, it doesn't really matter as far as contemporization of any genre at this point. It's a clusterfuck. So today, this is what's historic and important, and I got to hammer it. The Weather Channel comes out with their new PhD study, their mapping that they've been working on for years and years and years. And, you know, with their buoys in the ocean, with their atmospheric balloons, oh yeah, they have them. They put out their mapping. And their mapping completely mirrors my map that I built in 2011. On the plume coming out of my mouth, coming out of Fukushima, which I used the jet stream, I used the Japanese current, I used the, you know, Japanese flow for that map, and others who helped me with it. Their heat mapping and, you know, the justification of the blob, which I'm the very first guy that reported the blob. Physically, I'm the first guy that said you could see it. John Kirk up there on the fucking Canadian border. He started calling me. He owns a paddleboard business. He says, you can physically fucking see it. Kevin, I says, yeah, I can see it in San Diego. I'm the first guy that started fucking reporting in real time, actually a typo of the dead typos. Nobody believes. I mean, actually doing the work, not just regurgitating some spin. I saw an earthquake. Oh, fuck, you want to hang yourself. Oh, I mean, fuck, how do those guys, I mean, and it's all about an AdSense account, and you're going to, I mean, with 350 million people, well, more than that, worldwide, you're going to find a fucking art. Not me, I don't want to be that. I mean, disgusting, actually. I mean, it's asymmetric to any cause. It's worthless. So, these fires are epic as fucking hell over the whole Western United States. Here in Utah, you know, it's October. You know, we're starting to think about snow right now. It could snow right now. It's fucking 85, 90 degrees in northern Utah. Hasn't rained but for a few minutes in 7-8 months. This thing's a tinderbox ready to go in Utah. I mean, on the Wasatch Front, where 3 million people fucking live. God forbid. But That's what's going on in Northern California and Oregon. Fuck, you know how hot it is there right now? I mean, just shattering fucking heat records. Annihilating them. When it's in September, I believe the 8th, I think San Luis Obispo, I think, was 118. It's October 1st. Fucking Medford's pushing 100 today. Fucking ready. I mean, and the winds have kicked up. I mean, what? Fuck, you're talking 25 degrees above normal every day, all fucking day. And this is nothing. And again, scientists are mystified, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. Again, you know, another one you can write off to coincidence. You can write off this heat fucking blob mapping done by the PhDs that work for the Weather Channel. You can write that off as another Kevin Blanc coincidence. Tide pools collapse in 2012 on Kevin Blanc. Fucking first you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field where who knew there'd be fucking, you know, I mean, 9,000 videos? That ain't nothing. Fuck, you know. Let's see, Picasso did 100,000 pieces. You know, Warhol did fucking well over 100,000 pieces. You know. Oh, Picasso wasn't an activist? The fuck he wasn't. One of the greatest of all time. But the scientist, you know, Kaninsky on chemo on Balco. Another fucking Kevin Blanc coincidence. These are full-blown out fucking meltdowns. Going to release a heat source into the atmosphere unforeseen in the history of mankind. It's the hottest thing in the fucking world. It's going to boil our fucking ocean. The storms are going to rise up. They're going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. The Great Salt, and this is important for my work on the Great Salt Lake, you know, and I'm getting a lot of it done more. And it's harder than you think what I'm doing. I mean, my old beat-up vehicle, I thought we had it yesterday. I was climbing that big steep hill out there, and fucking, it clunked out on me, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done now. I'm fucked again, walking again. Let it cool down, and here it goes. I mean, I'm out of money, you know, shoestring. Thank you to everybody who supported this historic fucking work. It's important because we're the only ones doing it. You know, Dana's up there doing his thing, you know. He's on the East Coast now. But these are not coincidences. They can't, I mean, coincidence doesn't get in science. That doesn't cut it in science. So how many Kevin Blanchard coincidences are we going to chalk up? Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. You know, how many? You know, this is Kevin Blanch again. These are full-blown out fucking nuclear meltdowns. These are MOX fuel, spent fuel posts that have exploded all over, went into the jet stream for 6 fucking days and pushed into the Pacific Ocean for 3,495 days now. It's the hottest thing in the history of humanity. You mix it up with some radio fucking Roundup, but, I mean, it's going to cause a heat bubble over the United States. Great Salt Lake's going to acutely, and this is important for my Great Salt Lake work. People are coming to me left and right. Call me a lefty. I'm the far away from a fucking lefty liberal. I'm far as from a righty conservative as you can get. I'm not even close to either fucking one of those fucking freaks. I'm not voting for either one of these. Fuck, Trump's the fucking biggest. He's a creep. This whole thing, rake up the force, is so it's so disconnected from reality. This guy from Queens, fucking never been camping his life. I mean, my God, rake up. Do you know how big it is out here? Do you realize how big the Western United States, how big these forests are, how dynamic this ecology is, how beautiful, how breathtaking, how stunning? You're talking the greatest ecology on the face of the earth. The sequoias, the biggest trees in the world, the oldest trees in the fucking world. I mean, it's breathtaking. The marsh, it has it all. It has ocean, it has wetland, it has it all. You have no clue when you spew this shit how fucking incredibly, you know, and I'm all over it. You know, from the Sonora fucking to the giant fucking cactuses to the fucking, you know, mighty fucking redwoods. I was in the redwoods this year. Fucking Big Sur burned. You know, all over this. The fucking incredible, the fucking mainstay fucking, the salmon. Another coincidence. They're going to collapse. Record returns in 2050. Collapse on here in 20. They go to sleep for 5. Another coincidence. How many fucking you going to chalk up to coincidence? This heat source. Every word I said. Again, I'm not a YouTuber, and you're so vain. You think this video is about you. It's not. It's about we from the sea. And everybody said something about my cancer. What? Are you kidding me? You don't think that this has all been about fucking trying to survive this fucking... Oh, fuck. Like the Night fucking asked me to put that fucking video up. So I did. I get asked, Tim just called me and asked me to do this video. So I will. Any of you ever want anything from me, I don't care how fucked up you are. I won't say no. Because I am the fucking anti-nuclear slut versus the, oh God, Lennon, come on, John, you're covering up my, that's what you are. You know, so these fires are beyond historic. This heat bubble over the United States is beyond historic. Miko Kako, oh, we're going to go back to being in the desert. He's talking a cycle that took millions of years. No, it doesn't work like that. That happens in 8 fucking years. This is Fukushima. This is Fuktonium. Where's your Fuktonium hat? Get your fucking Fuktonium hat out, Kev. You're signing off for your workers' fucking hat on. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, these fires are fucking heartbreaking as fuck. Never happened. Oh no, fuck no. This is so acute, so radical, so unforeseen. I've lived here in fucking I fucking know this Western United States fucking landscape like no other. All of it, all over it. Fuck, I used to fucking, you know, in my trucks, I used to buy a new Chevy every fucking year truck when they were made in the U.S. And fuck, all over this Western United States. Just go. I mean, I know every square inch of Idaho, most of fucking Montana, you know, fucking Oregon. Oh yeah, fucking I'm Eastern and fucking Western. California like the back of my hand. I know that fucking coast like nobody. And Utah, fuck, nobody knows Utah like I know it, especially northern. It's so grand. It's so beautiful. It's so stunning. I know secret places all over that fucking nobody even knows they're there. I do. It's, you know, why do you think I'm so fiercely, I'm heartbroken over this. You know, both parties have thrown in the towel on the environment. No one gives a fuck. You know, I care. You know, and it's sad that human lives are lost, but what about all the animals? What about the ecology? You know, and my heart goes out to everybody, especially in Redding. It's a fucking incredible place up there. It's fucking beautiful. It's stunning. It's breathtaking. Fucking Northern California, Southern Oregon, the fucking Oregon. I mean, it's fucking the ecology is so fucking incredible. You know, the salmon. I mean, heartbreaking. I'm worse than heartbroken. Why do you think I'm so all in, so hardcore? I'm gonna fight for it till my last fucking breath. You know, I'm gonna fight for Mother Earth. You know, against the likes of fucking scumbag Trump. And, you know, Obama was just as fucking bad. They're fucking dirtbags. They hate Mother Earth. I love Mother Earth. And I love all our creatures. You know, fucking heartbroken. This map that the Weather Channel comes out mirrors my fucking map. The heat source, well, again, all a coincidence, huh? They'll look back in time because that's the way science works. They're going to look back in time and say, well, first you hypothesized, this guy hypothesized on it. He used his fucking incredible art form because he used to work in YouTube. He used to hold retention. Of course, now I wonder everybody's fled from me because they're hypnotized in political dogma. Gonzo. Very effective. Dada. Yoko Ono calls herself a Dadaist. You're supposed to be poor, Yoko. No, I'm the real Dadaist. Create change. That's what art does. Tries to. Chalk them all up to coincidence. Go ahead. Flee from me. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. You know, and the cancer component to my cancer, it's, you know, it's the thumbprint of this catastrophe. We fight on. Doesn't matter what we're up against. You know, Dana's fucking taught himself along the way to be, you know, to understand the nuclear thesis. He didn't know, he's learned. He does a good job fucking calling these people out and doing what his fucking work. It's a lonely fucking battle. But like he says, if we're not the resistance, you know, I'm up in politicians' face. I'm up in fuck. You have no clue what I put myself up in a day. Behind enemy lines, you don't know what I go through to even get to that point. Try it. Try it. You think it's so fucking easy? Try it. You know, again, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a vlogger. I'm a scientist. I'm a research PhD. I'm an artist activist, a real one that wins, you know. So the heat map It mirrors mine. Just chalk it up to another coincidence. You're so vain, you probably think this video is about you. It's not about you. It's about we. And it doesn't matter because over time, the cream will rise. You know, the videos are there, you know, all 8,000 of them. And over time, you know, over time. Years is not a long time. Stay in tune.